Welcome to A Lovely Time, a podcast where we speak to comedians to find out what constitutes a perfect day. I'm Amy Gledhill, and my idea of a lovely time is my brand new 5G internet, upload speeds of 350 megabytes and a very hot hand. My guest today is a podcaster, comedian and a massive dad. It's Stevie Martin. She's also going to be on the next live A Lovely Time show at Chapeltown Picture House in Manchester on the 3rd of July, so make sure you get your tickets. The first night was, it was amazing. It was the best night of my life, so do come and join us. So let's have a lovely time then, shall we? Hello, Stevie.
Hi, man.
Hi, dude. Yeah,
Hyman.
dude. Hyman. What a strong opening. Oh. How are you?
I'm having a lovely time already.
Straight off the bat.
So
You've done your homework.
All my answers to your questions are going to be just right now. Just what we're doing. So, and it'll be very short as an episode.
We both need to record this quite quickly and then get off. So I think the questions and answers are going to be very curt.
And just to clarify as well, get off with each other.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, we've just got to do this quickly so we just get off with each other because I'm such a nice time. Like, we might as well just take it to its natural conclusion.
What a strong start. Okay, so Stevie. Hello. Stevie. So what we're going to do is going to talk about your ideal lovely time. But we'll start with hearing about a time that you've already had, other than this one, and in the future getting off with me. What about a time that you've had that was lovely? Tell us, indulge us.
I had the loveliest of lovely times, but a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, because I am getting a dog, and I went to see the dog, and it's a little puppy.
Oh, it's a puppy! Oh
and
my god!
She's the size of my hand. And I was a bit like...
Just for the listener, Stevie's hands are massive.
Huge. So my hands are the size of a large dog, if you can...
Think of a Great Dane. Double it. That's Stevie's hand. Okay,
that's
carry on.
I've got two hands. So, yeah, absolutely, like, just looks like a drawing of a dog. And I have to say it, ethical. I'm not going to go into the details because it's no one else's business, but it is very ethical what I'm doing, just so everyone knows.
I would never have questioned it until you've said that, and I'm like, she's a puppy
and now you're
farmer.
Like, oh, she's a diamond farmer as well, I think. No, it's just because I said something about a puppy on Twitter, and then I have never had that amount of abuse, and I have said some awful things on Twitter.
What?
No, I'm very chilled out on Twitter. It was the first time I said anything sincere that wasn't like a stupid joke or whatever for about 4 years, and I just said, has anyone got any tips on getting a puppy? And it was just like, how dare you not get an old dog? How dare you not do this? I hope you've gone through this channel. If not, you're basically a murderer. And then I was like, oh, well, we can't get an old dog because I've got a tortoise. And it was like, you're going to have a dog and a tortoise, you piece of shit. And actually what they don't know is my tortoise has we've moved specifically to a flat so my tortoise has its own room called the Tortoise Emporium. Like, who's going to... Don't come at me, because I'll come back at you, is what I'm saying, with my interior design ideas. And so that's why I'm being over the top. Anyway, ethical, so that was A, lovely time. Mm-hmm. B, dog, amazing. Was really like, I wonder how I feel because I might be overwhelmed, but like, I can't imagine not liking a dog, but I might not.
Yeah.
The moment, I'll send you a video privately of me with this puppy, because like the moment she was just like on my chest, and she was just looking at me, and it was the most I've ever felt of anything that I've ever felt in my whole life.
Oh my god, that's
it's like
so
I've given
nice.
birth. That's what I felt like, and I've never given birth, so I can't actually, but I imagine, that's
Probably that. It's probably that exact thing.
or not as intense as that, actually. Probably not as much, as that.
Yeah.
But,
wow. That sounds, really overwhelming. What breed of dog is it?
So she's a schnoodle, so she's half schnauzer, half poodle, because these two family dogs just fell in love and started having sex. And the breeder in the room was like, they were kissing each other as they were having sex. It was like, you just stood watching them then. Okay. And it was part of like a more serious conversation that we're having about like, how it came about, and me trying to discern if it was okay or if she was some sort of facade for a puppy farm.
Sure.
And she's clearly not, but she
but she is a pervert.
Yeah, she's a pervert. And I think you've got to actually find the perverts to buy dogs off. But I'm very adopt, don't shop, but I would go as far as to say adopt, don't shop unless it's from a pervert.
That's your Twitter bio, right? I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, I didn't think I'd say this today, but I'm trying to imagine the dogs kissing whilst having sex, and logistically I'm finding it quite difficult.
So was I, and to me and my partner, it was so difficult to go like, and not go, sorry, whose penis was in Surrey? So he put his penis in while he was looking at her.
How far does a dog's head turn? Is it like an owl? What?
Is the penis like an owl? Is the penis turning round? Are they detachable?
Maybe it's like a long petrol pump. Do you know when it can go right to the other side of the car?
Very helpful. Yeah, there's, but obviously it couldn't, because then weirdly I felt weird asking that question when she'd just been like, so when I was standing watching them having sex, they both kissed, which clearly is the slightly weirder thing to be saying. But
to be digging for more details in that situation isn't the right thing to do. Whoa, slow down. How were they kissing? And can you act this out?
What was the penetration like? Because I remember when I found out that ducks have like now I might be wrong, but they've got corkscrew vaginas, right? But no one ever says like, so do ducks have also corkscrew penises, and do they spin round like at opposite ways?
Oh my god, like a weed grinder.
Yeah. When you're like trying to get a screw in, like, is that what? But I've never seen any ducks rotating, so I can't imagine that's how they do it. But there's a lot about the animal world that we just don't know.
If any listeners have the insight, please do tweet Stevie directly. Do not at me in.
You know what? Yeah, I'd like that actually. If my social media was just ducks' vaginas, I'd like social media much more.
Oh my god, you're gonna get a puppy. Have you thought of a name already?
Yes, she's going to be called Piper, which I found out this morning is the same name that my therapist gave her dog. So I don't know, it feels significant.
Your therapist has got into your head
so badly. But yeah, also I'm very much aware that it's probably going to be quite incredibly full on, and there'll be lots of sleepless. Like I've got lots of friends. I just had, like, just before the lockdown, quite a few of my friends had puppies, gave birth to puppies.
Yeah.
And the lot, but you can't say it because you don't want to be like, it's really hard, because people have had human children, and that's obviously much harder.
Is it though? I don't have children myself, and I hear people, whining on about how difficult it is, and I just saying, is it? Because I've had a puppy.
It's natural though, isn't it? Like, it's at least giving birth is a natural thing, so shut up about it. Whereas getting a dog is like, what's going on? That's actually more difficult.
It's more emotionally complicated. It's like The Handmaid's Tale. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale at the moment. I don't know if you've seen it, but obviously it's kind of like you're pregnant at the moment because you know you're going to get the puppy, but you're not physically pregnant.
That's actually really hard for me, that like emotional cognitive dissonance, knowing I am pregnant but I'm not. That's harder than actually being pregnant.
Exactly. Yeah, so there you go, and that's fact. Probably
that's fact. And also, if you have any if you disagree with that, at Amy about that, not me.
No, do you know what, I think just keep at in Stevie, and then she can tell me if it's important, if that's all right. So your Twitter is at Stevie
M, but the S is a 5.
There we go. Okay.
Great. So glad to be doing this podcast.
Please don't tweet Stevie unless it's with
was joking.
absolute joy. Okay. So that is brilliant. That's a lovely time you've had, and we'll have in the future. That's exciting. It's in the past and in the future and in the present.
And maybe you'll meet the dog.
I'd
and
love to
you'll
meet
have that
the
lovely
dog.
time as well.
Oh my
It'll be
God.
like a shared experience.
This is huge. So let's talk about your ideal lovely time, which may or may not include watching dogs kiss while having sex. That's you brought it up. That seems to be your bag, and I'm not judging.
That is, but I'd say that's like an arousing time rather than a lovely time. With lovely, I'm going wholesome. You know, I'm going wholesome.
I get you.
Hard drugs. No, I'm joking. Imagine if it was like just like dropping loads of heroin in my nose. I don't think this person has ever taken drugs before. So I was thinking about this a lot, and I think it's very. It's probably very pandemic. I mean, obviously it's pandemic orientated, because I just was like, the idea of having all my fave people, not every single favourite person, but like a nice group of lads and gals going we're all in like a kind of, we've all rented like a house that's too big for all of us, because we're all just loaded suddenly, and we're in a country that's like quite like, I don't know, like Croatia. You're like, oh, interesting.
Yes. Not the obvious choice, but still a great choice.
I love it when people are like, yeah, we went on a city break to like Dubrovnik. You're like, yeah, okay.
Good for you. What part of Scotland is that?
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I was in Paris. I was too busy going to Paris and Venice
and Berlin.
I didn't know that Berlin. I didn't know there were any other cities. It's always it's like Lisbon's another one. I'm like, really? Yeah. Okay. So I'm outside one of those cities, so we can maybe like go in and out if we want to go on a night out on the town. Anyway, but the lovely time is we're sort of midway through perhaps a week-long break. Everyone's settled in to the vibe of the holiday, all the previous, like, you know, I don't know, whenever I go on holiday, I have like about 3 days where I'm like, I can't physically relax, and I have to like force myself. I'm just constantly being like, I was going to say this before about the idea of what's a lovely time. I'm constantly undoing the lovely time by being like, am I having a lovely time? Is this time as lovely as it could be? Or am I just saying I'm having a lovely time, so therefore I feel like I am, but in my heart I'm not? And then I'm upset. And that's me experiencing joy. I even did that with the dog when I was like holding the dog. I was like, but do I like this, or am I just saying it because it is cute? You're like, what? Just enjoy. Just feel. Just feel.
Just breathe and feel.
Just breathe and feel.
All right. Breathe and feel.
So I'm having this. So we're halfway through. So I've now been able to breathe and feel for the first time on this holiday, and also there's like a pool. And there's maybe some people in the pool, there's some people like making some dinner. I'm crucially not cooking. Some people making dinner for me.
Oh, nice. I like this.
Yeah.
And these are your friends that are cooking?
Oh, yeah, friends.
Because you sort of said people in the pool. I was like, these strangers? Just like hot strangers in the pool.
Yes, we've got hot hired strangers in the pool. And then we've also got, I've just hired some cooks and cleaners and sort of some help. Because again, absolutely minted. Yeah. No, that would make me very uncomfortable. So it's like a self-catered vibe. So it's all just like, should we just put some bits and bobs on the veranda? I'm like, lovely.
Great.
But I won't be helping with that. But you can put it out.
Yeah. But you're not helping, but nobody's bothered that you're not helping. That's not a problem.
Everyone's like, classic Stevie. She doesn't help. So
she's breathing and feeling. Just let her be. It's the happiest she's been the whole holiday.
Yeah, she's in her own head quite a lot, and bless her. Like she looks quite happy now. So
she
we'll
can't
just leave it.
breathe and feel and chop. That's too much.
Yeah. I'd chop my hand off. Also, as well, if I'm looking happy, then no one can go, oh, you look happy, because then I'll start going, am I though? So again, you can't draw any attention to it. really great holiday guest. And just sort of really great life partner.
Yeah, cool, well. Man.
Yeah.
I'm digging your vibe. Don't think
Terrible
about it, Stevie.
vibe.
Stay with me. Stay
Terrible
with me.
Vibe.
Stay with me, Stevie. We're breathing and feeling. We're fine. We're chatting. We're chatting.
You'd think I'd be like heavily medicated at all times, but I'm not. I just live with this pain. Anyway, so and I think it's sort of like that bit where it's gone from late afternoon and it's slowly sort of the days on the turn.
Oh,
so
I
the
love that
evening's
bit.
Possibilities are just before us. Yeah, that's my favourite bit.
What's the temperature?
Oh, warm enough that you could wear a bikini if you wanted to, but everyone's fine that I'm wearing
Nobody's
t-shirt
sweating.
Shorts. No one's sweating. Yeah, no one's sweating. And also, it's not like so hot that you can't wear clothes. I hate that. Yeah. Like, I'd like the option.
I get you. And what are they cooking?
Antipasti? Is that a thing? Is that just olives?
Antipasti or an uncle pasta? Yeah, I think it's just olives. I've never seen anything else.
I really like bread
bruschetta.
And oil.
Oh,
bruschetta, bread and oil, and like lots of like you know when people like cut tomatoes and then they'll salt it. And you're like, oh wow, okay. You know, they put oil on it. You're like, Jesus, how? Who told you to do that?
Yeah.
All right, Italy.
I'm so impressed by that. I'm so impressed by... So I used to be really impressed, like, the more things you did to a food. I'd be like, oh my God, this has taken so long to cook and there's so much going on. And now I think it's very cool if you have, like, basically any raw ingredient with, like, one other thing. So it could be, like, a little bit of cucumber with, like, I don't know, bit of pepper, and you're like, fuck me, that's art.
Yeah,
that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It's so casual, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like a tweet with no capital letter at the front of it.
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
I don't even give a shit. But also, it's nice. Yeah. Like, it's nice. Like, I had my first ever cucumber sandwich about 2 months ago. It was like just cucumber of it. Well, we all know what cucumber sandwiches are. But it was seasoned. I mean, it had salt on it, and it was just so like fresh and so clean. You know, it's just so like. I can't.
Yeah, it's great. I love that sort of thing. I think they're my favourite sandwiches. Good bread with one very simple ingredient. I like your cucumber, or I like your tomato sandwiches. I like your banana sandwiches, and I really like pea sandwiches.
That's interesting.
And I think the line between oh my God, loads of butter. So this is where it tips between like really cool artisanal into just like working class, can't be asked to cook. And it's white bread, biggest slice you can get of like King's Mill. Do you know what it feels like? They're like A4. Two big A4 slices of white bread with like margarine on, like really just plastic that you're spreading on it.
The cheapest stuff you can get.
The cheapest, softest, as long as it's spreading. I'm fine with that. And then hot peas. Hot peas. Loads of salt. Then you obviously put the bread. I don't know if you've ever made a sandwich, Stevie, but I will explain it. You put the bread. You put the peas on a slice of bread.
Next to?
No, this is the interesting part, Stevie. You put the other slice of bread on top of the peas.
That is
so it's
wild.
It's like a big bready mattress of a sandwich. Then you, with your fists, you hammer down, squashing the peas. Then you cut it in half, not diagonally, because that makes you a ponce. You cut it in half.
Diagonally is a ponce, and then in four, nonce. That's the rules.
I'm never going to forget that. And then maybe I'll fall in love one day and they'll see them cutting it into four and I'll be like, I've got to leave.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's the saddest part.
That's the saddest part. Yeah. But yeah, so that's
great. See, what I would have done with that is I eat frozen peas as a snack, by the way. Can't recommend it enough.
Still frozen?
Just get So what you do there is so frozen is where you get a freezer and you put the peas in, and then when they've gone hard and sort of crystallised like beautiful pea diamonds, what you do is you open the drawer, you reach in, you make sure no one's looking, you do a left shoulder, you do a right shoulder, you have your excuse for if someone walks in the room, and your excuse is always like, oh, I didn't realise. That's your excuse. Oh no. That's what I like to do.
I'm asleep. I'm sleepwalking. And
then have a little crunch down. That and frozen sweet corn as well. Yeah, and I don't know what it is about it, but I can't get enough of it. But I would have with the pea sandwich, non-frozen pea sandwich, bit of ketchup in there.
Yeah,
bit of brown sauce.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I suppose you could dip the sandwich. That's a great thing where you can dip a sandwich.
Oh God, you can dip it.
That's good stuff, actually.
I told my partner the other day that, and he looked disgusted, but I don't think it's that bad. I said, a meal I like, and I did describe it as a meal, is, you know the microwave packet of rice you get?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do that. Plop that in a bowl. Add a dollop of mayonnaise. You got a meal.
I used to eat that at uni all the time.
Oh, wait. Well, I thought you were going to be like, I do that. But you quickly clarified, I used to do that at uni. Not but now.
The only reason I don't do it now is because of, well, actually, I'd forgotten it. And also, I was going to say embarrassment, but then the frozen peas thing led me to believe that that's not a problem for me at this juncture. I do kidney beans, drain out all the, I'm talking like Tesco value kidney beans, drain out all the shit.
Yeah.
I want to say to drain it properly, but I never used to. I just like drain it with my hand. Disgusting. Pour mayo and ketchup in it, mix it all up, eat that for
No way.
dinner. Yeah, until my flatmate was like, you can't do that. I actually feel sick and it ruins my meal. So I was like, okay. And now I haven't done it since. But yeah, rice and also like hot butter in the microwave with loads of salt on it.
Oh my
rice
God.
And soy sauce. You've got yourself a Chinese meal. Really good.
And you said you weren't going to be cooking on your ideal time.
Exactly.
Come on.
It's crazy that people don't let me cook. Like, and I've never hosted a dinner party. Because I went to a posh uni and I'm not at all. And the level of disgust was really high because they'd like never seen anyone even have the audacity to suggest rice and mayonnaise. It was like, but also I remember someone saying to me quite seriously, like, aren't you embarrassed to tell us that? And it was like, no, everyone laughed. It was like, yeah, but they're laughing at you. It's like, oh my God. All right, Polly. Anyway.
So Polly's not on this break in Dubrovnik.
Polly's not, no. But I'll let some poshos on because I've got posho friends and they are my good pals. So
they can be all right. They just don't get it. Is the thing.
They don't get. You got to explain things to them, haven't you?
You put the mayo in after the rice comes out the microwave.
Not in the bowl Polly. And then add the rice to it. What are you doing? But also they have to explain things to me. But they're like, their things they have to explain to me are things like, what's beagling? You know, like that's like hunting. What is fox hunting?
Yeah.
What's a morning suit? Like that's boring.
Yeah. What is
practical?
Paying council tax? I don't know what it is.
What is
I
a
refuse
bank?
to do it. What is a TV license? Mine just comes on without it. I don't know what your posh ones need to work.
Always been fine with it. Don't know what the issue is. Yeah. Weird.
But we can explain things like fly tipping.
Fly tipping, yeah. And just like mould. Just on us. Just being mouldy. A little tip for anyone listening who's not working class. You're always mouldy.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you think you're not mouldy, you're just not looking hard enough. Try again. You'll find it.
Crevices. Have a real look under the arms, between the fingers. There's a bit of mildew there.
I feel like maybe we've come off track ever so slightly.
I don't think so, but yes, sure, no, fine.
Dubrovnik. They're cooking. These hot strangers, these hot posh strangers, they're cooking. You're in your shorts and t-shirt, breathing and feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And okay, so then what are we doing as the evening is upon us? Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's crucial. I think it's crucial that that there's no pressure to do organised fun, and I think it's one of the most important things to me is that I find I need to like recharge after I have a social interaction, not like any like one word, and I'd be like, I've got to go into the room, but just like, you know, like after a night out or a day out or even just a lunch, I'm like, okay, and now a bit of time for me. So I find going to like so I don't like festivals very much because I'm just so tired and overwhelmed and I want to be on my own, but you can't leave because your phone's not working, so then you'll lose everyone forever, and you're like, I've got to stay with everybody for 5 days, and I smell, and I can't shit anywhere because these are awful. There's a lot going on.
All my frozen peas have melted.
All my frozen peas are melted, so I can't. How am I expected to eat that? Like, that's disgusting. But so I think the house needs to be, and this is why it's good having posh friends, because hopefully it's one of their like manor houses or something. There's enough rooms in there that you can like have your own room, so if you needed to just like go away and do some reading or have a shower and just sit in your towel for a bit, you can. So I've just been away and been recharging, and I've had a shower after my day of sunbathing, and which I can't do because I'm too pale, but like I like to be like near the sun but not like in it. So I'm enjoying the vibe, soaking up the vibes rather than the rays. Important. But the and now I'm like ready to have some rosé and just you know, be a legend for a short period of time, and I'm feeling confident about myself, and I also am feeling confident that my banter will be apt. I'll have apt banter.
Something I can only dream of.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I hate that feeling when you're not on form and you're like, I'll just go. Everything I say is weird. No one understood that weird reference. I'm going to go home. So it won't be that. I'll be like, I can feel that everything I'll say is like warm butter.
Oh, yeah. You're sizzling. Everyone's like, what's she going to say next? I bet it's going to be brilliant. And it always is.
And hopefully they're saying that verbally, like audibly as well. So my confidence is boosted. It's like, what's she going to say next? Strap in.
Did you know dogs can kiss while they're having sex?
I loved that thing she just said.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that's my absolute dream.
That's great. That's brilliant. Okay, so how does the evening end? So are you still?
I'm in my own sick. Sorry, yeah, I'm in my own sick, and I'm blacked out. No, of course not.
I'm in someone else's sick.
I'm in someone else's sick, and I'm kissing it. So I think the evening ends in that great way where everyone's like having a great time and don't want it to end, and then there is a point where you're like, oh, I just hit my hand, and that's sort of what would happen. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Everyone's just like, oh, well, should we head to bed then? And it's like maybe 3 a.m. You're like, yeah, pretty tired, and you know what you're going to do the next day, and you are drunk, but you're not like, you're just like, you're not like quacking. You're like, you've said all your philosophical points, and now it's time to go to bed.
Oh, that's nice. I love it when bedtime comes at just the right time and everyone's on the same page, and no one's like, I'm going to bed, and you kind of go, oh, are they all right? Yeah, when it's just like, should I have gone to bed 10 years ago? Is everyone pissed off with me that I've stayed up this long? But when it's like, okay, it is bedtime.
And there's no to like, nice. I think as well when someone else is like, no, and you're like, oh, she's gone too far, and you've got to like convince them to go to bed. It's like, no, that's ruining my bedtime experience. I just want to like have like a nice read, or no, I'll be too drunk to read, but like have a kind of a nice like think, you know,
a breathe and a feel. A
breathe and a feel. Oh yeah,
I like drunk reading. It's really annoying because you don't remember it and you have to reread it. But there was a time when I'd come home after like going to a club, and my favourite thing to do would be to read, because I'd be so into the book, because it was like getting gossip. It was like reading like a really long text. from a mate and being like, he did what? Mr. Darcy, what? Come on. But I remember like loving it at the time. But then you'd wake up the next morning and you'd see your bookmarks moved and you'd be like, I don't remember what happened in this story. So you have to do it again. But it was like a real fun little activity. I would recommend drunk reading.
I don't think I can do it. I think I'm just a bit like, my eyes are always tired. So I think, because I do like TV series and I'll like binge watch 7 of the episodes and be like, and then at the same time, oh God, also I do the thing, and on this lovely time I won't do this, where I just like overly compliment everyone on social media. So like whatever Instagram story they do, I'm like, oh my God, you queen. And it's just like them doing their teeth or something. I'm like, oh my God, you have teeth. I think I once like messaged someone I hadn't spoken to in about 10 years being like, I love your skin. I'll do that. I also did that with you. But also your skin did look amazing, and I wasn't drunk when I did that. But I think if you get like 4 a.m, I love your skin, and that's it. Like there was no build up. It was just like, love your skin.
And it's maybe spelt a bit wrong. It just said
love your scone.
Love scone. Love scone.
I love scones.
I love scones.
I hope Stevie's okay. Just checking on her. But yeah.
And that's on like a celebrity's Instagram. Like Connie Hook.
Like Anton Deck.
Yeah.
I love scones. Oh my God, I'm so glad I haven't done that.
Well, you don't know if you have or not.
I might, yeah. That is true. I might have done. I once like drunk text my dad. I drunk called my dad, and I was like, yeah. And I thought I was being like, hey, I haven't spoken to you a while. And then he was like, you called me at like 2 a.m, like, I love you. He's like, yeah, it's just, I obviously had run out. Like I'd called so many people and no one had picked up. So I'd be like, Dad, all right, phone up, let's do it. He's like, I was trying to sleep. I've got work in the morning. I was like, I'm sorry. That's really sad. Really sad.
Oh, that's cute though.
It is nice. Yeah,
that's cute. That's a cute thing to do. Yeah, I like that. That's a lovely time.
That is a lovely time, actually. So, yeah, okay, so that's the end of the night. I drunk called my dad. Before bed, just being like, I love you. And then go sleep. And then the next day, I'm like, I'm not embarrassed about that. That was fine.
But you check your Instagram and there's a lot of messages that you've sent.
A lot of scone content. Like, I've posted, like,
scone,
so much
scone,
about
scone.
Scones. I've tweeted about scones. Like, yeah. I've tried to make some scones. Like, yeah. It's gone mad there. Yeah.
It's gone mad. Ew.
It's gone mad.
It's gone mad. Oh, that's a really lovely. I think that's a really like absolute belter of a lovely time. You got your pals. You got a big house, which is always fun.
A big house.
Going in a big house
fun,
is like
because then
brilliant.
You can take photos and pretend it's like your house, which is what I often do. Be like, just chilling in my house, and then people presume, you just let people fill in the gaps of that. This is the house that I live in. Yeah. You know, they can do what they want with that information.
Exactly.
You know? I think it's also very important that you don't have anyone in this holiday that because I know sometimes one can have friends who are like, fine, but you're not comfortable just like, basically everyone on this holiday I have to be able to sit with for like 4 hours and just talk about nothing sober, every single person.
Yes.
And then there's none of that like, oh, I don't know what to say. So no one's allowed to bring their like new boyfriend that no one's ever met, and you're like, why is Simon coming? Like, he doesn't know anyone. Everyone's like, are you okay, Simon? He's like, yes. Oh, Simon, he's not okay.
Oh,
but
not
okay,
Simon.
but...
He's fine. He's not relaxed into the groove, you know.
Yeah, because he doesn't know anyone, so he doesn't know what to say, and he's saying things like, "Where did you go to school?" Or "Where did you go to? Where
Simon.
are you from?" Then you're like, we all know this. We've gone through this. You have to have small talk. Small talk is the worst.
No small talk, Simon. Yeah, no small talk. Nonsense talk. Talk about nothing. I love, and it's my only thing I want to talk about. But small talk, very formal.
Very formal.
Very formal.
You're very aware of what you're saying. Like when you're at a party and someone's like, "So how did you get here then? Like, whereabouts do you live?" Like, and you're like, "Oh," and everyone in that conversation knows that
nobody wants
the
to be in it.
conversation's bad.
Yeah.
And you're like, I took the DLR and then I changed it Canning Town.
Did you? Wow. How long did that take then? What's that for? 40
A
minutes?
hot 45. 45. Door to door. People like saying that, don't they?
What is that? Door to door? That's not bad. Door to door. Oh,
it's not bad. Door to door, is it?
All we want to say is we don't want to be having this conversation, but nobody's saying it out loud. Everyone in that conversation is a coward.
They're a coward, including myself.
Including, and most of all, myself.
I should walk away. I should go, no, I'm not answering that question. It was Canning Town. I'm changing Canning Town, but I'm not answering it. We're not continuing this.
So
what
no
are your biggest fears,
talk.
Simon? Yeah. What are your biggest fears?
Yeah, exactly. What's the weirdest feat you've ever seen?
So what's the weirdest feat you've ever had?
Yeah. What's the weirdest feat you've ever had?
Also, what's the weirdest feat you've ever seen? It's amazing. I had a friend who was really tall, and she had like tall and also like very sort of statuesque, like, large shoulders, very built. You know, kind of like she wasn't tall and like a string bean.
Yeah.
She had size 3 feet. They look like trotters. No one wanted to tell her that. And she'd say, like, I don't think I can wear high heels because they look really like trotters. And we'd be like, no, they don't. They do. I hope she listens, but I also hope she does not listen.
I'm just picturing that. What's that horror film where it's like got a goat and there's on the poster there's like some goat hooves coming under the door. Maybe it's like Drag Me to Hell. No, I can't remember. But yeah. No, I get it.
It's a thing, isn't it?
It's a thing, isn't it? Yeah, goat hooves.
Why are like trotters so terrifying?
That's I don't know.
For us all.
What?
Because you'd say like, oh, it's the links with like Satan's hooves, but it's not really. It's just like trotters are weird.
Trotters are weird. That's just what it is. It's what it is, and it's because our hands are quite close to trotters. I've got small hands, and if I try and no fist, my fists are pathetic. So if I make a fist, Stevie can see it on the camera. It is a trotter. Because it's literally
a paw.
It's a
Looks
paw.
like a dog's paw.
It's a dog's paw. It's straight up and down. There's no curve to it at all. Whereas yours, you've got a great fist. You've got a great fist.
if you were to, people would prefer you to.
Newcomers would prefer me. Newbies on the scene. I could be the gateway.
The old fisting stalwarts would like a bit of the Steve. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think that's where it would end, if I'm honest.
I didn't. But I think it's the best place it could have ended, and it's the only place it could have ended.
It was from the duck's vagina chat at the beginning. It was only ever going to end with fisting logistics, and I'm glad we got there. You've been a treat, an absolute delight to talk to. Thank you so much for doing this. Is there anything that you'd like to plug? Where can we find you? StevieMartin.org, obviously, that's a given.
Of course, and I have buildings off the Charing Cross Road, but also I just on social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter as Stevie M, but the S is unfortunately a 5. And there's nothing else. I'm not doing anything, unfortunately. Oh yeah, my podcast, Nobody Panic, which I give better advice on that, but in a fun way. But yeah, that's it. But I've had a lovely time, genuinely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for having me, in a way.
Now it's time that we get off.
Oh yeah, shit, we best crack on.
Okay, I'll roll up my sleeves. In I go. I'll fist you as well.
Started strong, it ended stronger. Well, I've just about recovered from that episode after getting Stevied. What a great chat. What a time. First time I've got off with a guest, so that's something. Thank you so much to Stevie for coming on and going through what almost amounted to a lovely time. We were close, weren't we? And if you're still thirsty for more Stevie, then she will be on our live show in Manchester on the 3rd of July, along with Mock the Week's Alistair Beckett-King and Absolute Smasher Erica Ayler. And me. I'll be there. You can't stop me. It's my gig. Tickets are already running low, so make sure you book yours soon. Thanks very much for listening. Just one more episode left of this series before we have a little tiny little break. Let us have a little tiny break. And it is a belter. So make sure you're listening and tell all your pals and every single person on social media to join us for that. And I'll see you next week for another lovely time. Bye.
This podcast is made by A Lovely Time Productions and hosted by Amy Gledhill, with music by Jack Evans.
I love a .org because it makes you sound like you're an org.